Hi people, it's Saturday and I have news on the employee saga. So, you know, I told you that the Lord had blessed me with two qualified, experienced applicants. What day was that? Thursday? Thursday. So they both came. Really liked the first girl, only she had a whole bunch of piercings. She had one in each side of her nostril. She had one in her lip. And I told her, she had loops in them. I told her, the only thing is I want you to wear studs, not loops. A dog could, you know, claw it, rip it out. And B, it just, my clients are very fluent. They, you know, they kind of expect a more professional look. And I think a stud would not be so in your face. So, she was like, oh, that's no problem. No problem. Actually, I'm sorry. I actually thought about putting studs in and I forgot and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it seemed fine. She did a pretty good job. Both of these girls had been working in grooming salons for 5 years. Actually, the same salon. Not both of them at the same salon, but each one of them had been at their same salon for 5 years. So I was feeling really promising about this. I really liked her, but I had already committed to the afternoon interview at 1. So I told the girl in the morning that I had an afternoon interview and that I would make a decision after her interview. She's like, no problem, I'll stay by my phone, I'll have it with me. Just give me a call and let me know. And we had a really nice chat. Her mom owns a huge doggy daycare. And she was wanting to move from, you know, underneath mom's wing to, you know, something else. So we had a nice long conversation and I felt really good about it. So she left. The second girl was supposed to be there at 1. At 1:15, I texted her and said, did you decide not to come for the interview? And she's like, I'm stuck in traffic at blah, 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 which was still quite a ways away. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's already 1:15. You're still quite a ways away. Even if you had hit a bit of traffic, I could see you being 10 minutes late. Anyway, besides, there's not that much traffic in the middle of the day. So she shows up about 1:30. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I said I could come after 1. And it's like, who sets up an interview and it's like, oh, I could come sometime after 1. Anyway, I was like, okay, Rena, you don't have a great pool of applicants right now. Let this one go. So I did. She is kind of, I don't know what to call it, but she had this sort of demeanor that made me think it was kind of going to be nails on a chalkboard with her. But I was still like, okay, if she's talented and good, I can deal with it. So she dried 2 dogs and we chatted. She did pretty well. We chatted some more. I mean, she did pretty well. The dogs still had mats and stuff, but you know, it was a good start. I could work with her. The problem I have with both of them is that they've both been in a grooming salon for 5 years and their level of quality was not what my level of quality is. And it's hard to tell somebody who's been working in the same industry for 5 years that they've got to bring up their level of quality. So I just said, okay, you know, well, I told both of them, you know, everybody does things different. You know, every shop is a little bit different and there's stuff you'll have to learn that we do here. And they're both like, no, that's fine. No problem. So she left. I called the first one to tell her I wanted to hire her. And I had actually decided to hire both of them. The first one full-time and the second one almost full-time. So I called the first one, I left her a voicemail, waited about an hour, called her back, and was like, hey, I just need to double check and make sure you're still interested, because if you're not, you know, I need to think about that for my other applicant. And she didn't respond. I emailed her, she didn't respond. So at the end of the business day, I called her from my cell phone, which she didn't know my cell phone number. And she well, her husband answered, put her on the phone, and she was like, yeah, okay, let me talk to my husband. You know, she told me her and her husband had been running errands all afternoon. She was sorry she didn't get my message. So she says, let me talk to my husband. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, you just spent the afternoon with your husband running errands and you guys didn't talk about this? So I said, okay, all right, well, if you could give me a call back shortly and let me know. No reply. And I'm like, what the hell? So I was tired. I fixed dinner. I went and watched Scandal, and the next morning I emailed the other girl, the second girl. And I was like, hey, this is the deal. You know, she had said she needed a day off to get her hair colored or something. I said, I just want to verify what day it is you need off, and then that you could start next Wednesday, which is what I think she had told me. So she emails back and says, oh, thank you for contacting me. I just don't think I'm the right fit for your salon. And I was like, I kind of took a deep breath because that's the one I thought might be nails on a chalkboard for me. So I was like, okay, well, back to square one. Neither one of those worked out. I just thought it was so rude for the one girl not to just be honest and say, hey, it's too far. Hey, I didn't like you. Hey, whatever. I mean, I know she couldn't say your shop's gross because my shop's really nice. And I was really nice to her. We had a really nice chat, but whatever. Why wouldn't somebody just say, you know, I decided it's too far, whatever it is, but just say no thank you. So during that night, I got an email from another girl who had been working at the same grooming daycare place for 7 years. And I was like, okay, Lord, did you send me the 2 5-year girls just to tease me a little bit? And then you were like, but wait, I'm sending you a 7-year girl. So I took a deep breath, emailed her back, and she was available to come for a working interview immediately. So she came yesterday, and I had emailed her back and said, hey, just wanted to know if I choose to hire you, when could you start? She said as soon as needed. So she came for her interview. While she was working on a dog, I called her previous employer, and when I said her name, the previous employer said, oh no. And I was like, oh no. She said, oh no, you can't have her because I want her back. And I was like, yes. So we talked for about 5 minutes, got a glowing referral reference on her, glowing. And she finished her dog, and she did a much better job than the other 2 girls the day before. So we chatted a bit more about pay and about hours and about expectations of the job and so forth and so on. I told her about chance for advancement and bonuses and, possibly learning to do some clipping and stuff like that. She seemed really excited and really positive. And I said, so when you said you're available to start as soon as needed, what if you were needed today? And she goes, I already told my boyfriend if you asked me to stay, I would stay. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because yesterday we had 14, but we had like 8 large dogs. We had 3 Goldens. We had a Burmese mountain dog. We had a doodle. And a couple other big dogs, labs. Anyway, we had a lot of big dogs. And me and Deb were both 53, as I have mentioned to you before. So she did a splendid job, just splendid, very pleasant, very friendly. And at the end of the day, she was like, they got the back area cleaned up. And she goes, is there anything you'd like me to clean up outside? Because we have that outside doggy daycare. And I was like, wow, somebody who has initiative to do more. I love it. So we went out back, and there wasn't too much to clean up. We got that done. And gave her W-2s and all the paperwork she has to fill out for direct deposit and stuff. And she left. She went and got her purse and her jacket. She left. And about 5 minutes later, she comes back in, and I'm like, oh no. And she goes, I left my paperwork on the table. And I was like, oh, you could have got it tomorrow. And she goes, no, you gave it to me today, so you wanted me to take it. So I was like, oh Lord, is this why? Is this why I've been through everything? Because this is what you were sending me? And I was being tested to see if I had the patience to wait for her. So, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. She should be there in 10 minutes. And I am on my way. Deb's already there. We have 15 today. And I'm hoping I get a crafty order that I placed. I'm going to stop at the mailbox on my way in and see if my order has arrived. I've got a bunch of stuff in the cart for Simon Says Stamp. I don't like to order from them because they take a long time. A cherry on top sent me an email with a 20% off everything. So I'm going to see if I can find all those same items. I mean, I don't have anything against Simon Says Stamp. I actually like a lot of their products, and I do order from them from time to time. But it just seems like every time my order takes a lot longer than everybody else's. Let me know if that happens for you guys. I hope you're not tired of my employee woes. Hopefully I won't have any more. I'm still looking for one more person, potentially a receptionist only. But if it's a receptionist that's willing to help us with dogs, you know, on our busier days, that would be even the better. I had one gal that came in for the receptionist position, and she had eyelashes about this long and makeup and painted on eyebrows, which painted on eyebrows sometimes look really good. I don't know. This girl just looked like she belonged in a nail salon or a massage place or a clothing store. She did not look like she was going to work out in a dog grooming shop, having to clean up pee and poop and dog puke. Yeah, I could just see her being all, So, anyway, I am pulling into the shop, and hopefully, like I said, I will be able to do a crafty haul video later today. So, I think Monday Deb and I are going to try to get together again about Filmora. So, cross your fingers, and thank you everybody for your encouraging words. I think it's almost time to get a haircut. It's definitely time to color. Talk to you guys later. Bye.